You can stop spinning in circles, ladies and gentlemen, because it's your man 4. I'm back at it again with an update on my Barbarian Rend Brawl Build. Boy, oh boy, this one starts to slap right now. It hits like a truck. It's so much fun to play. I'm not saying it's the best build out there, but it might very well be. You literally become a dance god on the battlefield. Slam elites against the wall, one-shot them, and also melt down bosses in no time. And I got a lot of questions from the community, which we're gonna answer in this video, with, of course, a little bit of gameplay to show you how exactly the build works. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Do forgive me, please, for the tired eyes. I didn't have a lot of sleep in the past couple days, but I can't wait to go more in detail about this build because it's so much fun. I know you guys are also tired of the whirlwind builds, which are extremely boring, but I want to say a quick thanks to every single one of you guys for all the positive feedback and comments on my previous video, in which I basically explain everything you need to know about the build, abilities, the Paragon board upgrade, and some aspects. While today, we're going to go more in-depth about everything. I seriously can't wait to share more about this discovery. So the first question I get from many people is, which weapon technique are you using? As of course, we're constantly using our Rend. Well, many people thought the two-handed swords, and this is definitely an option. If you want to deal more damage over time, then the two-handed sword expertise is going to be awesome because your bleeds will deal a lot more damage while you will sacrifice on your instant damage, let's say. And that is where the two-handed axe expertise comes in. Right now, we're going to deal increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Bosses are going to be vulnerable pretty much all the time, so you're going to hit like a truck, while this also increases your critical strike chance against vulnerable enemies. And with our charge, for example, we can apply vulnerability very quickly, so you can start dealing a lot of damage. But two-handed swords is definitely an option. I think even polearms are viable, while I think they look a little bit boring in battle, so I'm just sticking with the axes. You don't necessarily have to focus on bleed damage. This build mainly focuses on high attack speed, hitting your enemies with high crits. So if we look at my stats right here, critical strike chance is 25%, crit damage is 98%. It's a little bit less than in my previous video. Ideally, I think you want to focus on making this as high as possible. Some people also asked if I could make a build on d4builds.gg or another Diablo build uploader, which I'm definitely going to do in the coming days. But I made some slight alterations to it. So I basically got rid of the cut to the bone. Your bleeding effects deal increased damage to vulnerable enemies, as I'm focusing more towards instant damage with the axes, not necessarily focus on that bleed damage. I also decided to go with Furious Impulse. So now each time when we swap weapons, we gain Fury. So if you use Rend, you also gain Fury against a big packs of enemies. Right here, grants 4 Fury per enemy hit, up to a maximum of 20 Fury, so you get a lot of Fury as refund. This legendary note, Blood Rage, killing a bleeding enemy has a 10% chance to grant Berserking for 5 seconds. If you increase the duration with other upgrades, you're going to be doing that 24/7. So right here we have a rare note, Enraged, damage while berserking, duration while berserking, more damage. And on this board, I focused on the legendary note Carnage. I had one with vulnerability earlier, which I got rid of because vulnerability is a little bit more difficult to apply as Barbarian. We're still going to do that with different ways. But right now, when berserking, our critical strikes will also increase our attack speed. So we're going to hit super fast. And I also have this one right here. 5% increased damage while berserking, and also more damage against elites. So elites are going to be scared of us, ladies and gentlemen. 10% more damage with berserking, more strength, and of course all those blue notes around there. Very close to this glyph, by the way. But you can tell that with berserk, we're going to hit like a truck, and this is going to happen all the time. So right now, I'm going to take it in game, show you guys how it's done. Okay, so we're currently on our way to a Nightmare Dungeon tier 14. I'm using this build around this difficulty to crank up the challenge a little bit because regular difficulty is a little bit too easy. After getting my two-handed weapons on level, I'm probably going to move towards the Torment difficulty. So we've got a couple spiders right here. The first way how you can apply Berserk is to hit with your basic attacks, and it just happened to proc. Every time when you crit with Lunging Strike, it will be a 100% chance you will get Berserk. While if you use your Rend ability, just apply Bleed to all your enemies and then take them down, you will also get Berserk. Because enemies that bleed have a 10% chance of course, giving you Berserk if they die. And it really doesn't matter how they die. See, I just used my Lunging Strike and I got a Berserk proc right there. So with other abilities like this one right here with my Paragon board, I get more attack speed. Fury generation is also extremely fast because of this, because our attack speed is high, so the build-up is fast. While if you use your leap, hit at least one enemy, you will also get Fury very quickly. So yeah, you can just keep going. You can keep going. You will not have Fury issues with this at all. And this is why I absolutely love the Call of the Ancients, because if you don't have any Fury, you basically use this ability and you will build it up super fast because of the damage of your spirits, let's say. So if we just call it in right here, look at our Fury going up. We can start spamming Rend, get insane amounts of attack speed, crush them against the wall. Oh, man, it's so much fun. But I guess you have the idea right now. It's time to take this into action. So right there, you saw all the bad guys explode because of the ram. Within 2-second kills will deal a lot of damage, and then they go kaboom. Let's do that again. So we killed all the trash. And now we just take out the big guy. Stunned against the wall, so it can't do anything. If you enjoyed the video so far, it would be awesome if you can leave a like and share your thoughts about it in the comments down below. I mean, it took a lot of time to figure out this build, but it finally works, and it's just super satisfying. I do recommend you to go with extra evade charges on your boots, because these will make this so much more fun. Dancing around on the battlefield, while with the leap, if you hit enemies, you only have a 4-second cooldown, so you can basically keep using this. And you can, if you want, reduce the cooldown of the charge attack, while I like to keep it as is, to apply vulnerability to my enemies. A lot of elites right here. This is going to be interesting. Narrow spot. Oh boy. Let's go. Let's dance. That's literally the dancing we do. I think we get to fight a boss right here. The Brute Guard. Alright, interesting. So now we apply the attack speed, as you can see. Even on single targets, it goes pretty fast. While if we use our ultimate, you can tell that, man, this boss goes down so fast. Right now I'm taking a lot of risks standing in all the poison and everything, but you can tell that he went down pretty quickly. I'll shite on that. I mean, that's what he says, right? I'll shite on that. I might just keep it for other purposes. I also found 2 sacred unique items, by the way. This Temerity and also Razor Plate. With plus 5,000 thorns, it literally one-shots enemies if they attack me. Very satisfying.
Give it over.
Yeah, give it over. Nice. I've got a tier 15 dungeon right here. Let's see. Witchwater. Alright, this is an awesome level for this build, as we have small chambers, narrow rooms, so you can ram enemies against the walls a lot easier, while I'm not a huge fan of these snakes, which stun you all the time. So let's see if we can dodge them a little bit. But this is basically what you can do all the time, just ram them against the wall and deal with them. I usually just skip the trash and move on to the bigger rooms to gather all the enemies, have them in one spot, and then if I get stunned, I just use my my leap. You can call it my ultimate right here as well. Ram this guy against the wall. Oh, there we go. Sacred Ring. Nice. Whew. He didn't see that one coming, that's for sure. Seems like we get to fight another boss. This is Slither. Single enemies, of course, your build-up of Fury is going to be a little bit lower, but still, as you can see, goes pretty fast. There we go. Poor guy. Damage with 200 bludgeon weapons. Slowdown reduction. I have a slight feeling we're gonna be fighting spiders right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's good. It's all good. So yeah, just ram against the wall, then leap backwards again and start spamming your Rend ability. Oh, that was a one-shot right there. Amazing explosions. It's just so much fun, man. Not using your passive abilities. Spamming your shouts 24/7. Here we go. They gone. Ooh, legendary. Let's go. Ciao, amigo. I mean, the corpse explosions are so satisfying to see. Survive the onslaught. Oh, did you see that right there? That is why I love to play this build. It really doesn't matter sometimes if you hit a little bit less, but those are the moments where you're just like, it's fantastic. Oh man, it's so much. Oh man, it's... Defeat the Brute Guard. There it is. Voila! Bam! That is basically how the build works. So there you have it, my Barbarian Rend Brawl build. I sincerely hope you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this one. If you have any questions about it, please do leave me in the comments down below. I'm very happy to answer them. And from my perspective, I am far from finished with this build. I mean, I kind of feel like we lack critical strike damage. I used to have almost 200% with my current loadout. It's not the case anymore, but definitely a lot of stuff to still work towards. Probably the most important imprint or aspect would be the critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed. Put it on a two-handed weapon so you will have the double effect for 50%. This one right here, enemy damaged by kick or charge will explode if they're killed within the next 2 seconds. If you ram smaller enemies with elites, they will instantly explode, and this damage will spread to the elites themselves, so they can also instantly die because of all that. Reduce the cooldown of leap can be pretty interesting. Create an earthquake with leap to make yourself tankier, but those are basically the main things you want to focus on. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you found this video valuable, and of course are looking forward to future updates for this build, because we're only just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, a big thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.